Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, we are live here at Plaza Lincoln on the SportsHub Podcast, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. I want to thank our partners, Plaza Lincoln and Plaza Cadillac, for hosting us today. We are on with Coach Feliciano. He's with Wildwood Middle High School. You're a first-year head coach with Wildwood, so I want to thank you for coming on to our program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
We are on location here at Plaza Lincoln. I want to thank them for hosting us and doing what they do for us as well, so we can talk and tell the stories of some amazing people. And you are an amazing person who is now coaching in Sumter County. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you go to work, Coach. For those that don't know a lot about you, kind of explain who you are and how'd you end up at Wildwood?
Well, yeah, for those of you that don't know, like he said, I'm Adiener Feliciano, and I'm the new men's basketball coach at Wildwood, and I'm excited about the opportunity. It's one of those things where I started coaching 13 years ago at Denellen High School. First year there, I was an assistant there with Travis Litt, who's at Vanguard now. And our first year together there, we won 5 games. And, you know, had some guys that were talented, but didn't know how to win. And thankfully, just through hard work and whatnot, we were able to turn that program around. In year 2, we won 18 games. Mm-hmm. And then we followed that with back-to-back 21-win games. Over there, we made it to the playoffs for the first time in 16 years at the time. And we won back-to-back district championships there, my last 2 years there. Then I ended up going over to Trinity Catholic under Carlos Villalobos. Mm-hmm. And my first year on staff there, we actually made it to the state championship game. Back in, that was, I want to say 2017 or 2018. Mm-hmm. We made it to the state championship game where we beat teams like Lake Highland Prep and just, you know, a bunch of teams that nobody gave us a chance against. And we ended up running into U School University down there, who had Scotty Barnes, Vernon Carey, Taylor Hendricks. I mean, multiple guys that either were in the NBA, mm-hmm. Played high-level basketball, and they even had Zay Flowers, who plays for the Ravens. Yeah. So you talk about a stacked team that was number 2 in the country. They ended up losing to Montvert in the national championship game that year and whatnot. We ended up losing to them in the state championship game. And I was just fortunate to learn a lot under Coach Litt, Coach Villalobos, and then most recently I was coaching under Jim Irvin over at Williston. I coached there for 3 years as the associate head coach. And year 1 there, when I first sat down with Coach Irvin, I said, hey, Coach, I want to help you build a championship caliber program. And I told him my biggest thing is development and exposure. Mm-hmm. I believe in living in the gym with my guys. And I try to tell my guys, like, this is your future. This is your dream. You're in the driver's seat of your dream. I'm just one of those guys. I'm in the seat next to you saying, hey, I think we should turn here. I think we should go here. But they're in the driver's seat. And through living in the gym, hard work, skill development, you know, it's one of those things where I'm able to put the guys in the right place to provide the exposure they need. Mm-hmm. I also coach AAU. I coach with One Family. We're based out of Orlando. We are on the Puma circuit, and I've been blessed to have coached the last 11 years with them. And so just through all of those things and my interactions, I've been fortunate to win. Mm-hmm. Everywhere I've been, you know, it's a blessing, and it's one of those things where it's never about me. It's all about my kids. It's all about them, and I just pour into them, and I try to help them to live their dreams, because if they really want to play basketball at the next level, and mm-hmm. that's their dream, then as a coach, I believe my responsibility is to believe in them just as much as they do, sometimes maybe a little bit more, and say, okay, if this is your dream, let's make a plan. How can we make this happen? What do we have to do? What camps do we have to go to? Mm-hmm. You know, what unseen hours do we have to put in that gym so that when the lights come on and they're bright, we don't flinch?
Well, and you've been to multiple state championships. You have so much experience with building great teams over the last couple of years. What excites you most about coming into Wildwood?
Man, what really excites me is, you know, just knowing the history that's there at Wildwood. I mean, mm-hmm. you know, they've won 3 state championships in their time, and everything, with the last one being in 2021. And I believe that they have championship pedigree mm-hmm. there. Like, we look at the success Coach Brown's had with the girls, and I believe that the boys program is is there. Like they're knocking on the door. We know last year they won 20 games, and they have talent coming back with Demetrius and Demarius Knight, Ashton Wilson, you know, and all those guys, Trayson Armstrong and stuff. The talent's there. I really believe it's there. We've been in the gym nonstop this summer and everything, and I'm really excited for what we can accomplish together. You know, I think they understand and they're hungry, and that's such an underrated just ability and just mindset to come in and be hungry and want to win and want to go ahead and propel yourself to the next level, because I'm a firm believer that if you're preparing guys and developing them for the next level, the wins and all those things that as a coach you may want, they come as a byproduct of helping them achieve their dreams. Yeah. Like, you know, and I say this now, and anytime you talk to me or anybody speaks to me, it's not about me. It's never about me. You know, my time is done and over with as a player and everything. Now, my job and what I try to do, I try to be the person I wish I had growing up. So I try to be there for these young men. I try to teach them those life lessons, because life is hard and life can knock you down a little bit. But through sports, and what I aim to do through basketball, is for them to understand that everything they want and want to achieve in life is on the other side of hard. And if you're able to overcome the hard things that happen in life through basketball right now, you're gonna be all right when you get to the real world and, you know, and you have a family that depends on you. Because right now, they're chasing scholarships, opportunities, a free education. But in life, you're gonna have kids and a wife and family that are kind of relying on you, and it's not, you can't just throw in the towel and say, oh no, this is hard, I don't wanna do it. So I aim through basketball to be able to teach them that you want this, it's on the other side of hard. And hard isn't pretty, and hard isn't always fun, but guess what? If you're able to overcome those hard and difficult things, everything you want's on the other side.
And we've seen guys have success in recent years. Trey Mann, one of those guys with the Charlotte Hornets, and then Keon Ellis from Eustis ended up playing at Leesburg as well. What a guy playing with the Sacramento Kings. You see guys that have success like that. What does it mean to see guys that come from our area and then end up successful like that?
Well, you know, we were fortunate to have Marcus Nyblack, who, you know, a lot of our kids that are there saw personally, and they just saw the level of talent he had and the success he had as a high school player, roaming the halls right there at Wildwood. So I believe just having that local talent like Trey and Keon and all of them, it gives these kids something attainable that they can see, okay, I knew this person, or somebody in my family knows these people. If they did it, I can work hard, I can achieve that, I could get there. And sometimes that's all you need. You got to have that belief in yourself, even against all odds, and say, you know what, I can do this. Like we spoke about before, Sam Alexis, he played for our One Family program, and that's a kid that as a junior was on JV. You know, nobody knew who he was, nobody had any idea. When COVID happened, he's a kid that lived in that gym. I mean, you talk about calling people, can I get in the gym? Just literally harassing people to get into either a gym. If gyms were closed, he'd go out by himself to some courts outside. You talk about just breaking the door down and saying, I want an opportunity to just have a chance to play somewhere. And just won a national championship at the University of Florida. I mean, I feel like seeing that kind of success and understanding, hey, if they did it, maybe I can do it.
Yeah, Sam Alexis just won the national championship at UF, and what a guy. Played right down the road at Apopka High School, and he's a great human being, and just great to see him doing great things at UF. But we're going to take a quick break here on the Sports Hub. When we come back, we'll have more with Coach Feliciano when we return.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Everybody, we are back here on the SportsHub Podcast at Plaza Lincoln on location. We're having a great time talking with Coach Feliciano. He is the head coach of Wildwood Middle High School, and it's going to be a fun season watching you guys develop. You've coached some amazing teams the last couple of years, including a back-to-back championship team that you coach with Williston. Talk a little bit about that, just winning back-to-back state championships, and kind of like what goes into that, because I'm sure you learned a lot about yourself.
No, absolutely. I'm just so grateful that Coach Jim Irvin, head coach over there, just gave me the opportunity to come on in. And, like I was saying earlier, first day we sat down and we said, let's build a championship program. Mm-hmm. And, he named me associate head coach. I was in charge of all skill development. And, it was one of those things where we lived in the gym with those kids, and that group was hungry. We had a bunch of kids that were rising juniors that year, Kyler Lamb, Vaughn Brown, just a couple of kids that were hungry and they wanted to have some success, and they listened. They were coachable. And thankfully that first year we won a state championship. And it's one of those things where it's only crazy until you do it, because when we talked about it, I remember when we sat down with them that first summer, we were like, we're going to win a state championship here. And you could see the kids kind of like, oh, yeah. But, they were just like, yeah, coaches are saying that, so I'm agreeing. Little by little, that summer, we go and we won a couple of different team camps. And then, all of a sudden, some people started coming up and saying, hey, you guys look really good. Yeah. You guys actually have a chance. And then little by little, you were able to see the kids go, wow, okay, this is something we can actually go and do. And that first year, we go and we win a state championship, and, for the first time in school history and everything. And it was great. And after we won it, we celebrated, and the city, they had a parade and they did all that. And I'm the kind of person that I love to win. And so we won it. I celebrated for probably 3 or 4 days. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to work. Yeah. That championship was cool. I won my first one, great. But I told the guys that same year, hey, we're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. We went 25 and 7, but we're not fooling anybody. Now everybody knows you guys are state champs, so we're going to get everybody's best shot. Yeah. So we're going from being the hunters to being the hunted. And man, it's a testament to those kids. They really understood it and they bought in. And if we worked hard that first summer, we worked harder that second summer because they really understood, okay, now we're getting everybody's best shot every single night. And they worked for it. They understood how difficult it was going to be. And, we set up the schedule and we played a tougher schedule, and we ended up going 29-2 the following year. We ended up being named and recognized by Max Preps as the number 5 small school in the country. We ended up being top 10 in the state of Florida on Max Preps, regardless of class. Obviously, when you take out IMG, Montverde, those schools, we ended up top 10 in the state of Florida on Max Preps. So, we were able to accomplish a lot of things that year. And like I said, it had nothing to do with, us coaches. Yeah, we pushed them, but give all the credit to the kids, man. They worked for it, they earned it, and we were able to send multiple kids to the next level, which was just something that I'm so proud of those guys, and I'm so thankful to Coach Irvin for just allowing me to come in and believing in me and believing in us to help build what we did there. And
you don't just bring that to the court, you also bring that kind of model to the classroom as well, because you're a math teacher. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm a numbers guy. So it's one of those things where I really enjoy teaching math. I really enjoy just the numbers aspect of it. I'm passionate about it. I'm one of those guys. It's a lot of high energy with me, and that's how I am in the classroom. Yeah. And with my kids in the classroom, they know that it's no nonsense. Like when we're here to work, we're here to work. Same way I am on the court, because I tell my players the way that you compete in the court, you have to be willing to compete that way in the classroom, because at the end of the day, the classroom's going to be the separator. You might be 6'2", just like another kid, but what's going to separate you, let's say you both average 17. If you have that 3.8 GPA and that other kid has a 2.5, it's an easy sell who the schools are going to go with. They're going to go with the kid that they don't have to worry about, that they're not going to have to babysit academically when they get to the next level.
Right.
So, I'm very big on that. It's one of those things that just accountability, making them understand you got to compete, and you have to take the same way you approach workouts, every jumper, every rep you take, you're taking mental and academic reps in every classroom. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you got to go write that paper you don't want to write. Sometimes you got to go study for that test that you really don't want to. But that's where the progress comes. That's where you make those jumps. Just like in basketball, the days you want to get better are the days that you don't feel like getting up, but you get up anyways.
So Coach Richard Jackson, he's coming off of a great season at Wildwood. He really rebuilt that program, did a fantastic job last year. You're taking over for Coach Jackson. What can we expect out of Wildwood this season?
Coach Jackson did an amazing job, just helping them start to learn what it takes to win and just starting to develop that culture. And honestly, I just am looking forward to building off of what he did. Like, I think he did an amazing job, and I'm not coming in to try to transform anything he did, but just build off of it.
Right.
Build off of what he did and just take it up a notch. I believe that we're going to have a program that's going to compete. We're going to compete. We're going to come in and we're going to guard 94 feet. We're going to get up into everybody. And because I believe that on the defensive side, that's where you win games. Because, your shot doesn't always carry over from gym to gym. Gyms are so different. And especially when you get to Lakeland, you get to that open arena and all that. Teams don't shoot well historically there.
Sight lines are so different.
Absolutely. So many lines. You got the high school three-point line, college three-point line, NBA three-point line. So many lines that you go watch games up in Lakeland, you see kids shooting 35-footers, you know what I mean? And they're just shooting them just because of the heat of the moment. They look down, they see a line, they think they're behind their regular three-point line. They don't realize they're sitting, 4 or 5 feet further than they thought they were and stuff like that. So I'm a big believer that defensively, you bring that every night and you hang your hat on guarding and getting stops and guarding your yard. I believe that that'll lead to easy offense, and it'll allow us to compete with anybody every single night.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to that this year. You're going to get to it in just a couple of months here. Already getting to it over the summertime as well. We'll talk a little bit more about your AAU stuff that you got going on, some of the guys that have been drafted into the NBA when we return next on the Sports Hub.
Plaza Cadillac offers you the luxury of choice. Come test drive the all-new Optic with standard all-wheel drive, 300 horsepower, and over 300 miles of electric range, starting from only $44,890. Enjoy 0.9% APR for 60 months on our best-selling Lyriq EV, or take advantage of $1,500 savings and 4.4% APR on our fantastic lineup of gas SUVs and sedans. Plaza Cadillac in Leesburg. Our drive to be the best starts with you.
Hey everybody, we are back here on the Sports Hub on location at Plaza Lincoln. I want to thank Coach Feliciano for coming on. We've been enjoying talking to you a little bit about what to expect for Wildwood Middle High School basketball in the upcoming 25 and 26 season. Why don't we talk a little bit about your AAU circuit stuff that you do as well, because you've got some guys that ended up getting drafted into the NBA that you coached on your AAU team. Talk a little bit about that, Coach.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate that I coach for the One Family organization. We're based out of Orlando, Florida, but we have some of the best players from around the entire state of Florida. On the team, we're a Puma circuit team, so we play on the Pro 16 tournament or circuit. We just got done with it this past Sunday, actually. We were over in Bryan, Texas for the Pro 16 finals. Our 17U team, we ended up losing in the Elite 8 game, just a heartbreaker. We go up 2 with 7 seconds left. We score. 4 seconds left after we score, and no timeouts left. The other team inbounds the ball, and they hit a 40-footer. A 40-foot three to go up and beat us by 1 to advance to the Final Four. So, just one of those unfortunate heartbreakers, but, just really fortunate that through it all, we were able to accomplish what we wanted, which was we were able to have some success, and we had multiple guys earn Division I offers this weekend, which is the goal, and like you were saying, through our program, I've been very fortunate to have coached Nasir Little, who was drafted by the Portland Trailblazers, played at the University of North Carolina, was a McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic MVP, able to literally at all levels. And then most recently, we just had Asa Newell this past draft that was drafted with the 23rd pick by the Atlanta Hawks. So, I've been blessed to, been able to coach guys at all levels. Asa was a kid that we've had since he was an 8th grader. So able to see that him make those jumps from an 8th grader that, was about 6'5", 6'6", that could shoot it, could catch it, and to see him blossom from, an unranked, unknown kid to a 6'11" kid that was a one and done at the University of Georgia, and now is an NBA, basketball player, one of 400 and something. I mean, that's not easy, and it's not something that everybody can do. But I'm just blessed to, have been able to interact with those kids and coach them and be a small part of their village, because it takes a village. It's not about one person. It takes the right people in your circle that believe in you, that push you, and that steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, he's a new part of the Montverde team as well. Montverde, right down the road as well in Lake County here. What a program they've had for decades, really. And now multi national champions down there. But let's talk a little bit about your philosophies and what you like to preach, Coach. We were talking a little bit off camera, and you're you do such a great job at invigorating kids and just lifting them up, whether it's in the classroom or on the court.
Absolutely. It's just part of who I am. I mean, it's just what makes me who I am. I believe that we're able to if we believe in each other and believe in one another just enough, we can overcome and achieve a lot of things that we might normally not think they're possible. And, in the classroom, we've always been just okay with socially saying, oh, I'm not good at math. I can't do it. I've never been good at math. And I just believe it's about creating the correct foundation. If you build the right foundation, you can achieve anything. And it works that way in life. It works that way in the classroom. It works that way on the basketball court. And I'm just a big believer that in basketball, you get what you put into it. So if you work hard and those unseen hours are there, you're going to reap the benefit, because you don't just hit 20-foot jumpers in games automatically just because you showed up and you wanted to go in.
Yeah.
You hit those shots because it's thousands of reps. When nobody's in that gym, you're in that gym shooting that same shot. So when the lights come on, when the refs are there, when the gym's going crazy and the game's on the line, you have that confidence. I'm going to knock this shot down, not because I want it to happen, but because I worked for it and I earned it.
Now, we got a lot of exciting things going on at Wildwood as well. Obviously, you're going to be the coach there for the basketball team, the head coach. But you also have some exciting things going on outside the gym as well. You got a brand new artificial turf field that they're putting into Wildwood Middle High School. First time that's ever been done.
Absolutely.
And then they're also redoing the track as well. So that's going to be really exciting for the kids.
Oh, no, it's honestly the job that they've done. It's like we're very fortunate to have, I would say, state-of-the-art facilities, because our basketball facilities, the way they maintain them and upkeep them, honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've coached in 2 different counties already, and to see the floor that we have, how it's maintained and everything, I love it. I mean, and I'm so excited for the kids to be able to have that turf field, to have that track, and I'm excited to be able to use that track, because I'm very big on preseason conditioning. So I promise you, we will be on that track, leading up to the season.
What are your goals for 2025 and 2026?
My goals is to establish Wildwood as we're one of these teams that every single season, it doesn't matter how many guys graduate, it doesn't matter who we have coming back, any of that, we're going to come in and compete with everybody. We're going to come in and you have to peg us as the run to Lakeland comes through Wildwood to some degree. You're going to have to see us. You have to be ready to come see us. You have to be ready for us to get in your chest for 94 feet, because we're not going away. And I believe that this year we have the potential to make a run. Like I said, it all sounds good on paper. That's why you got to go play the games.
Yeah.
And so I believe that the rural class is wide open this season. And I believe that you got some great programs like Williston, Hawthorne, they're right in our district. Williston, I was there the past 3 seasons. And, it's one of those things where, we kind of, last year should have been our 3rd season in a row winning. We kind of stumbled against Hawthorne, who ended up winning the whole thing and everything like that. But I'm very familiar with our district. And so I'm very excited to now, being at Wildwood, it's a new challenge, but it's a familiar area, because I'm very familiar with Williston, I'm very familiar with Hawthorne, and I look forward to creating that rivalry, because at the end of the day, getting to Lakeland goes through those teams. I mean, those great historic teams that you talk about, the last 3 state championships, they've come right through our district.
Yeah.
So if that's what we have to do to get there this season, I embrace that challenge with open arms.
Yeah, Class Rural is going to be a lot of fun to watch this season.
Absolutely.
And we can't wait to watch what you build over there at Wildwood. I want to thank you for coming on to our program.
Thank you guys for having me. And like I said, I'm excited to build a program that honestly, my goal is to be known around the state as a school that prides itself on basketball, prides itself on sending kids to the next level, and prides itself on winning. We're looking forward to hanging some banners up.
Oh, for sure. And we hope to see those banners this upcoming season. So,
absolutely.
All right. Thank you to Coach Feliciano. I want to thank our partners, Plaza Cadillac and Plaza Lincoln, for hosting us and being such gracious hosts. We appreciate them, as well as UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. We'll see you on the next edition of the Sports Hub.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.